Question number 29. It says a motor powers a model car so that after starting from rest, the car travels s inches in t seconds, where s is equal to 16t square root of t. Which of the following gives the average speed of the car in inches per second over the first t seconds after it starts? Here we have the four options. One of the option is the correct. So the average speed can be found by dividing total distance by total time. So we want to find the average speed of the car, and we can find the speed of the average speed of the car if we divide the total distance by the total time. It means total distance divided by total time will give us the average speed of the car. So the total distance is equal to total distance is equal to 16t square root of t, and the total time it takes to cover this distance is t. Total time is equal to t. So if we put the values, the total distance divided by the total time, we will get the speed of the car in inches per second. The time is in per seconds, the distance is in inches, and the time is in seconds. So speed will be the total distance divided by total time. So total distance is 16t square root of t. The total time is t. So t will be cancelled with the t. So total distance will be 16 square root of t inches, which is option number B. Question number 30 says, the scatter plot below shows the amount of electric energy generated in millions of megawatt hours by nuclear source over a 10 years period. So in the graph, we can see the graph is electric energy generated by nuclear sources. On the x-axis, we have time in years, and on the y-axis, we have energy, million megawatt hours. Of the following equations, which best models the data in the scatter plot? So we have these four options. We want to show which of the best models the data in the scatter plot. First of all, if we see the behavior of the graph, it looks like a parabola which is opening downward. It means the quadratic equation of parabola, the coefficient of x square should be negative if the parabola is opening downward, and it should be positive if the parabola is opening upward. So here the parabola of the scatter plot is opening downward. It shows that the coefficient of x square must be negative. So in option B and option D, we have the negative coefficient of x square. So one of the options between B and C will be the correct answer. So next thing we want to know, based on the given information, the y-intercept of the function should be in between 760 to 740 if x is equal to 0. So in between 760 to 740, it will be positive number, not a negative number. So in option D, we have 745, which is in between 760 and 740. Based on the given information, given graph, the y-intercept must be in between 740 or 760. So it should be in between 740 and 760. So option D is giving us 745 because it is a positive number in between 740 and 760. It's not, y-intercept is not a negative number. So it means the option B is not a correct option because it is negative number. The positive number 745, which is in between 740 and 760. So y-intercept implies y-intercept is positive and it is 745.73. So option D is the correct option. Let's move to the next question. Question number 31. It says a group of friends decided to divide the $800 cost of trip equally among themselves. When two of the friends decided not to go on the trip, those remaining still divided the $800 cost equally, but each friend's share of the cost increased by $20. How many friends were in the original group? So I am going to suppose that let n is the number of friends. Number of friends, let number of friends is equal to n. Number of friends n, the cost of the trip $800, and each of the friend has to pay the equal amount. So it will be equal to, if we divide 800 divided by n, we can get the amount of each person has to pay. So now what happened? Two of the friends decided not to go on the trip. It means the number of friends when two of them leave will be equal to n minus 2. So we subtract the we will subtract 2 from the total number of friends. We'll get the number of friends when 2 leave. Now each has to pay 800 divided by n minus 2. And it was given that each friend's share of the cost increased by $20. So since this share represented $20 increase in the share, since this share represents $20 increase in the share, so we will add $20 in the original amount when all of them were going. It will be equal to 800 divided by n minus 2 when the two friends have to leave and they are not going to the trip. So on the left side we can take the LCM, which is n. So 800 plus 20n is equal to 800 divided by n minus 2. If we solve this, we're going to take cross multiplication. So n minus 2 into 800 plus 20n is equal to 800n. So n into 800, 800n plus n into 20n, which is equal to 20n square, minus 2 into 800 minus 1600, minus 2 into 20 is equal to 40n is equal to 800n. So 800n and 800n will be cancelled with each other. So here we have 20n square minus 40n minus 1600 equal to 0, which is quadratic in n, and I wanna make the coefficient of n square in the simplest form. So if we divide throughout by 20, we can remove the coefficient of n square. Divide by 20 on throughout, so it will be n square minus 22s are 40 will be 2n, and 80 times 20 is equal to 1600, so it will be 80 is equal to 0. So n square minus 10n plus 8n minus 80 is equal to 0. So n will be taking common, so n minus 10 plus 8 will be common in these two terms, so n minus 10 equal to 0. So we can write down in the product form, so n minus 10 into n plus 8 equal to 0. So we will have n minus 10 equal to 0, and n plus 8 equal to 0. We have n is equal to 10 and n is equal to minus 8. So in the question we wanted to know how many friends were going to the trip. So because friends are positive integers, so that's why we are going to ignore the minus symbol. Ignore, because the people are not negative. Ignore the negative number. So it means 10 friends were going to trip.